Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Influence to Income podcast. We're your hosts. My name's Doug, and this is my wife and business partner, Haley. And the purpose of this podcast is to help influencers grow their personal brands and make passive income with online courses. And today, we're going through it. We're going to do it. We fought about it. Maybe we didn't fight about it, but we're going to go through it. We're going to talk about how much money we make. And everyone's been asking, everyone wants to know the details. They want us to spill the tea, although Haley says I'm too old to say that kind of thing. But we're going to talk about exactly how much we make and how we made it. But before we do that, if you're into courses or you want to learn about courses, you want to leverage your influence, or you want to learn how to do coaching, we have Influencer Course Accelerator. It's live. We're accepting new students right now. We're accepting applications. So click a link somewhere to watch a masterclass to learn all about it and potentially put in your application. And, you might talk to us. You might have the opportunity to make the kind of money we are making today. I'm pumped. Haley?
Yes.
Thoughts?
So first off, we didn't fight about talking about our income. Doug loves to be.
Yes, I love to be dramatic. You got to play it up.
You do. But it was definitely my idea. I've always wanted to do income reports. I just felt like my income was never consistent. So it's like, you don't want to do an income report and then, it's like not the truth. And I also wanted to do an income report in, with an income stream that I truly believe in, that I want to talk about, that I encourage other people to start. So it never felt right to just do them for, when I was a full-time influencer. Yeah. So there are two reasons why I do really want to share our income. So we're going to do an income report for the last 30 days. We're going to talk about our expenses and talk about all of the nitty-gritty stuff as much as we feel is necessary to tell you guys everything. Yeah. But there's two reasons why we want to do that. The first one is because years ago, I stumbled upon someone's like blogging income report on Pinterest, and they were making, I think at the time, $20K a month. And for us at the time, being in a lot of student loan debt, being that like struggling influencer, wannabe YouTuber, it was like mind blowing that they were making this much money as an influencer.
Yeah. And what was crazy was it wasn't just here's how much money I make. It was like, here's how much I make. Here's how much money I make from affiliates. It was like a legitimate report.
Yeah.
And we were like, this is like taboo.
Yeah, who does this?
Nobody talks. Like, who are you to talk about the kind of money that you make? Little did we know it was like a gift from like the online course heavens.
Yes.
To jumpstart things.
Yeah. And then a couple years after that, I found someone's income report that was like really focused on course creation, and they were making around like $100,000 a month. And I was like, we have to do this. Like, this is the way out of doing all these brand deals, relying on algorithms to feed our family, where we're just like honestly shitting ourselves on an everyday basis and like being very scared that something's going to happen to YouTube. And like, especially when my comments got turned off on YouTube, I just didn't trust being a full-time influencer, feeding my entire family. So absolutely. I saw this income report and I was like, we have to jump on online courses. It seems like it's, going to be the path towards me spending more time with my kids, being less on that like content rat wheel. What am I saying? Hamster wheel. I always get that wrong. And so we decided to dive in head first and like really focus solely on online courses. Yeah. Especially when the pandemic hit. So I'm just like so thankful that I went through and stumble upon someone just blessed me with this income report, because it showed me that I could do it. And that is really the number one reason why we're doing it for you guys, even though someone's going to call us greedy and like, I don't even know, show off, like
showboating.
Truly,
you guys are
we're
just
not.
The worst. You're the scum.
I don't know what showboating is, but
dude, showboating. Come on.
No, I've never heard that.
Okay, yeah. There's another phrase Haley said she hasn't heard the other day that was really lame. But anyways,
yeah,
Haley's right. I looked at it and I was like, "There's no way this is real." But then I found people who I follow that were doing the same thing. It was just kind of low key. They were kind of talking about it behind the scenes for the people who want to see it, which hopefully is you guys. One of the guys that I follow that was so huge, I found out he was making a ton of money from affiliates and it was from hosting and from all this other stuff.
So people do it in the course creation niche, not so much. Obviously, I've never seen an influencer income report because it's like, hey, I just made all this money from this brand deal, and you guys hate when I do brand deals. Like, no one does that, and it's for good reason. But I feel like okay to do it now. And then the second reason is that we just want to document our experience. So I'm not sure how often we're gonna do these. Maybe like once every quarter, and we're gonna talk about the struggles and the triumphs of like what we went through within the past couple months or the 30 days that we did. But we just want to document it and show you guys like what's possible with 3 kids, working at night, working during nap time, and how fast we're going to be able to do what we want to do.
Yeah. And I'm so stoked. So are we ready?
Yes.
Is it going to happen? Okay. Hit the drum roll. I don't think we're going to add that in the video.
No.
Anyway, so I'm going to talk about here's what we made. Now, I'm not going to talk about all the little specific costs like our little programs. I'm going to just sum those up. Because the main thing people ask us every time is like, sure, you made money, but how much of it is take home?
Yeah.
What are you spending in ads? who are you paying to
We
buy
don't
your
blame
things?
you. We don't blame you.
We don't blame you because
No.
it is a very skeptical thing. Hey guys, Doug here. So you've probably noticed there's some audio issues with this episode, and it happened to be that there are audio issues during the times that we're talking. So here I am a few days later. I'm going to just go through the numbers so that way it's clear, so that way you guys hear everything and there's nothing that's missing and you don't have any opportunities to be like, well, I didn't exactly hear that. What did they mean by those? We don't want you guys to be confused. We want everything to be as transparent as possible. So for the month, we did $116,744 for the month in terms of gross revenue, gross sales. Now, we have a couple of things that we want to take out here that are kind of the biggest questions that we have, things like transaction fees and ads. So after transaction fees, we're at $114,589. So that's about like $2,200-ish in terms of transaction fees. Then with ads, so our ad spend was $3,189.81. And that's it. It's not like half, it's not 50%. We're not trying to pull anybody's leg. This is really just what our ad spend was for the month. So that leaves us at a net revenue of $111 or $111,399.19. And I kept messing this up in the other take as well. So let me say that again. Net revenue for the month, $111,399.19. Now, there are a couple of other things that we just don't include in there, like miscellaneous programs, a few $100 every month for us to do like our email stuff and lead pages and some other tools that we use. Then we also have an employee that we pay about $1,000 a month. So if you wanted to take those things out, roughly about $109,000 in terms of net take-home revenue. Usually the biggest question is just around ads. So hopefully that clears things up. That's it. Nothing else, nothing weird going on. We're not trying to like pull the blinds over your eyes or, trying to fool you guys on anything. That's it. So again, gross $116,744, and the net after transaction fees and ads, $111,399.19. And with that, we'll take you guys back to the normal episode, and hopefully I don't have to come back in here anymore.
And the reason why we're really talking about all this, going ham at it, is because a lot of people just assume, well, okay, first off, I assumed that if you made 6 figures a month, that it was so hard. Like you worked in some, I don't even know, you're a boss of some really big building in downtown area. You didn't have 3 kids running around you at all times. You worked like, I don't know, 50, 60 hours a week.
Yep.
You were just
you got 5 team members. You got to fly your private jet to your meeting.
Okay, you definitely don't have a private jet, Doug.
Okay. But I'm just trying to say, like, you're big ballin' corporate kind of thing, right? Like, it's that kind of lifestyle. You don't expect the husband and wife of 3 kids with the 9-week-old, that's
in my lap,
in
right
her lap,
now,
which you guys can't really see if you're on the podcast, but you don't expect them to be making $110,000 a month. That number was never going to be something that was feasible.
Honestly, it's just like, that is possible. It's just you're still trading your time for money because you have to be posting all the time. You have to be going viral. You have to be, releasing lots of different income streams, merch here and then maybe your own product line. And it would all cost a lot of money and a lot of time. And we want to chill out. It seems like we're not right now, but we're very like chill people. We honestly don't want to work like 50 hours a week doing content creation.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's the difference in why, we were looking at doing the influencing thing, but then we discovered all of this.
So something that we realized when, we started hitting 6-figure months, which is like absolutely bonkers. Like I know we say it I don't know why I said the word so cringe, but it's crazy. Okay. It's crazy. I know it is. And when we say it, it sounds and looks like we're very normal and it doesn't faze us. It actually doesn't faze us anymore, which is kind of like a sick and twisted thing. We talk about that sometimes.
Pretty messed up. But
it's become more normal to us now. But the biggest shift from us, making like the 20K a month, working like a ton of hours on YouTube to 6 figures a month is the fact that we switched our focused income stream. So we used to focus primarily, and you guys know this already, but primarily is like grow my audience, do more brand deals, try to negotiate higher. Like, how can I pitch myself to make myself sound better and like, how can I get more affiliate commissions and how many links can I put out through our style on Instagram or whatever. But that was kind of like I was a headless chicken, basically. I was kind of like posting on all of these different platforms, hoping that I would get a little bit of money from all of these income streams. But the biggest shift that allowed us to make six figures was actually focusing on one single income stream, becoming a master at that income stream, and also, more importantly, choosing the income stream that would allow for 6-figure months without me having to, post incessantly.
Yeah, there isn't a like one-to-one scale on like spend 1 hour or make $100.
No.
When it comes to courses and coaching. It's actually much different. It's actually, you only need to put in a little bit, but if you work on the right thing and get results, you put in 1 hour and you get $100,000, or, it's not that extreme, but the disparity between that and like brands and creating content is so different. You get so much more of a return on your time when you do courses. And that's because you can really sit down and you can help people get results, which is how you can really charge like high ticket costs. With brand deals, it's all related to
how can you sell, how much you can sell.
How much can you sell? How much conversion?
It's so funny because like I'll talk to YouTubers or bloggers or Instagrammers and they'll be like, I'll tell them, you should do online course. It's so much more lucrative. You get your time back, whatever. They'll be like, yeah, but I don't want to sell. And I'm like, hello.
You sell all day, bro.
You're selling. I mean, you guys know when you're on Instagram and you see 5 of different, Instagrammers or whatever bloggers talking about the same random product that you've never heard about. It's like, how did that happen? It's because they have to sell in order to get paid. And you do with, your online course. But something that I actually didn't write in the notes, which I want to briefly touch on now that we're reflecting back on like the craziness that has been the last year. And starting from like knowing nothing to being here in such a short time span, it's like insane. Like I know it is, but something that I just realized in my own self is when I was just a YouTuber doing all these brand deals, I didn't really feel like I was impacting anybody. Like I just felt like I was serving myself. It became a very like, I don't even know. It felt like I was selfish and greedy because I had to feed my family, but I wasn't really being able to do like cool things with my money because I was constantly working.
Yeah, and you're not like,
and people call you greedy as an influencer for doing brand deals. So it really gets in your head. And nowadays we just feel like so blessed and thankful because we actually get to impact people's lives. So for our students,
call me greedy, but I just helped my student make 40K.
Yeah, or retire their husband. Yeah.
Like, sure, call me greedy. That's what you want to do. But now I'm having a true impact. And some influencers can say like, yeah, the stuff that you're putting out there is helping people. Maybe it's eco-friendly. Maybe you're helping people through tough times because of like the content you put out.
Yeah, or you're just like entertaining. Like there's literally nothing wrong with being an influencer.
Okay, but when you create a course or a coaching program, there's like a trickle-down effect that happens where like we help somebody learn how to teach. We're teaching people how to get out of debt, or they're teaching people how to get healthy. And by that thought process, we're helping those people get healthy. And that's the impact that we're having with people. So it's like, it just means so much more to us when we can do that.
Yeah. So it's not so much because I always had this money story growing up, which we won't really get into because we did a whole podcast on money mindset stories. We'll link that down below. But I always had this money story growing up that the more money you made, the more greedy you were, or the more undeserving you were. Yeah. That's just so not the case. Like the more money we make, the more we impact people's lives. When I get on a call with a student and she tells me, and we go over their numbers, we're analyzing their data, and she tells me, Haley, I've made whatever it is that month. Some of them are making, they go from $0 to $10,000, or even like $0 to $4,000 a month can like change someone's life. They can retire their spouse or quit their job. And when they tell me how much they're making and you see their face, it's like you are impacting them so much more than doing a sponsored, deal with like, I don't know, whoever I used to, Home Chef or something, and you have to do that to feed your family. There's nothing wrong with sponsorships or brand deals, but my life has just dramatically become so much more fulfilling because I can teach people things. And even if you're not teaching someone how to make money and you're teaching them about essential oils, like people are so grateful that they do pay you and that they're getting, the value from it. Like it's life-changing, honestly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can hammer that point home. And as Haley says, beat the dead horse. She says that probably 3 times.
I gotta stop.
I know. But so let's talk a little bit about where to go from here. The first thing that we're trying to do is we're going to be looking to take this and make it more automated. We're going to be looking to hire more help. We're going to be looking to get people
run more ads.
We're going to run more ads. We're going to look for people to help with sales. We're going to look for people to potentially help with coaching. Instead, we're taking that money and turning it around, putting it back into the business, which what some of you guys might wonder, like how much of it does go back into the business. You know,
A lot.
A lot of it. How much of it do we want to
Not
go back
yet,
into a business?
but when we do the next income report, we will tell you guys this is how much we spent on ads this month. And it's going to be a lot more. You guys will hear all about it. And we're going to tell you, like, listen, we threw this much money in the trash, or we profited this much money. You know, it's like, it is a very scary thing. And you're probably like, well, what the heck do you have to be scared about? You made 6 figures a month. I only make this much a year, you know? And I would have thought that too. But we are living the exact same. If anything, we've decreased our lifestyle since making like the 20K a month being a YouTuber. We don't spend any money on luxury. Actually, that's not true. I bought my first Pottery Barn couch or piece of furniture, which like I praise. All I could ever want in my life.
We've had that couch for like 5 years.
Yeah. It's disgusting. Our old couch is disgusting. I bought myself a dining set. Like, we truly live less than most people. Like, I can't tell you.
That dining set had holes in it from when I had to like drill different screws because they fell
out. He ruined it
through the top of the thing.
It was like it was truly like a frat house. Like, I'm not kidding. And because I know, because Doug, that's where I met Doug. But on a side note, we still share like one car, our minivan. Like, and Doug's, you know, drift car is like broken down in the garage. So I just want to say that I don't really care if you see us as relatable or not, because I know that we're not relatable in a lot of ways. But I want you to know that, like, you know, we are still pushing really hard to make more, not because we're greedy, but because we want to impact more people. We want to, you know, I want to have a global brand. I want to do so many things, help our family members and do all the things. So
and you don't need that. You don't.
You might not need that.
That's totally fine.
A lot of our students don't have these goals, so we coach them differently. Like, we coach people based off of how much money they want to make. You have to completely shift your mindset going from 0 to even 10K, and then 10K to like 50K and 50K to 100K. It's like you're a different person at each level.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that a little bit, because I think that's super interesting to think about, like the mindset shifts. Like when you go from 0 to 10, it's all about just like, is it real? Is it not real? Is it like, are people doing this? That's why we're doing this kind of like income report, to show you that it is real. 0 to 10K is I believe it kind of mindset, right? And that's why
you have to start there first, obviously.
Yes,
you know,
people watch our testimonial videos of our students. When you go from 5 figures to 6 figures, it's totally different. And it's something that you just have to sit there and you have to actually narrow in and focus in on one problem and one thing that you're really trying to solve for people.
And honestly, I was just reflecting the other day with Doug about like how we were when we were just making, you know, 5 figures a month to 6. And we, like I said, we're completely different people, but just in a couple key aspects, which I find very interesting. Like, I love studying success, and I've learned, as much as I say it on here and to Doug every day of his life, he's sick of it. It's all about your mindset. It's really not about the technical stuff. It comes down to a couple things, which I actually wrote down because I find it so interesting. And the first thing might sound so cheesy, but it's courage. Like, what took us, I think, from 5 to 6 figures a month is, you know, having courage and just believing that it can happen, that it will happen for ourselves. The other big component of going from 5 to 6 figures a month is really having what we like to say, minimalist approach to business. And that's actually something that our current mentor has like taught us about, but it's basically the idea that you really focus all of your attention every single day on one product, one customer. What else is there, Doug? One price point. And we do currently have 2 products. So one of it is YouTubepreneur, you know, me, Haley, teaching people in an automated style, like through a course, not so much like one-to-one coaching, but me teaching people how to be YouTubers. So like how to get brand deals and all the stuff that I kind of like knock now, but it's still necessary if you want to sell courses. Absolutely. You have to grow. So I teach a lot about growth for YouTube, which again is necessary. So I believe in that program too. But we have that one. We have this influencer course accelerator, but the majority of our focus is, you know, scaling influencer course accelerator. So while you'll see that we're not spending a ton on ads right now, we will be. So stay tuned for that one. But it's still possible to do all this without ads. So the difference between, you know, like I was saying, 5 to 6 figures is every day before I used to wake up and think like, what do I have to check off my to-do list? And it would feel so satisfying just like checking things off, crossing them off, like take a photo for Instagram and pitch these brands or like talk to these brands. And nowadays we wake up and think like, how can we get sales? And I know that kind of sounds greedy in itself, but you know, whatever. It's not about that. We're helping people by selling them. Like, it truly is that easy to think about it like that. And that is how it is. So we wake up and think, what actions can we do to make sales and then eventually turn this passive? So that's all we focus on, honestly, instead of like 7 different platforms, algorithms.
If you guys hear some sounds, there's a baby sitting next to us.
Yes, we had to do some switching up there.
I know, we had to move some things around, but honestly, like, I wasn't really exactly sure how this would go. We kind of wanted to do this off the cuff. That's how that phrase goes. And just kind of put it out there because we want you guys to know the real side of things. And sometimes this is how it is real. We just talk about it and you guys get to learn about it. And now you can ask us questions. Now you get to see more insight into the business. Let us know what you think. But if you are still interested in potentially like looking to do this yourself, don't forget, you can click the link and you can watch a masterclass that'll teach you all about it. I promise it's super good value, whether you apply for Influencer Course Accelerator or not. But if you do, we'd be so happy and just blessed to be able to talk to you guys about it. So I think that's all that we had for today, right? Anything else? Okay, cool. Well, hopefully we'll do this again and you guys can let us know how you think it went. But until then, we'll talk to you guys next time.
Bye, guys.